I think anytime you play on Thursday night and it's on ESPN or ESPNU, there's definite bump you get. They talk about you the rest of the weekend. I think that's huge for our program. Winning the way we did, I think, was exciting for the fans, not so much for the coaches. You'd rather have it where we're playing better, but I think all that stuff's good.
Like with your background at Air Force and Navy, that maybe you understand what they want to do better than your average coach would?
Perhaps, but I'm not playing, thank God. It's a matter of teaching our guys, the principles of it and how we, intend to attack it. And then bottom line is execution. And when they're running triple option 12 weeks a year and we got to defend it 1 week a year, execution-wise, we've got some work to do to try to execute our defense as well as they execute their offense.
And Ivory had the 2 long touchdowns, a 61 and an 81, kind of like Paul James had against you, although you kept him out of the end zone. What did you see from Ivory that impressed you?
He's a really good back, good speed. He breaks tackles, and then once he goes, he's hard to catch. So you want to have a home run threat when you're running triple option because you can get some one-on-ones, and when you have a guy like him, one guy misses, he's going to go a long way. The other back that plays with them, I forget his name, number 2, he's typically their lead guy. He's a more physical guy, but Ivory is more their home run hitter.
Tim, what was you guys' assessment of your running game, particularly when you were by the goal line?
Well, we got to be more physical. Malik had been out, and so I thought he ran high. He's got to do a better job getting his pads down. We got to get a better push up front. I think he can be a weapon for us. But he's not 100% right now. I think we're doing some good things in there, but ultimately you got to knock it in, and it took us a while to do that.
After watching the film, what positives did you come away with on defense?
Well, I think I mentioned we had 63 plays that it was 200 yards. So if you're 3.3 yards per play for that many plays, that's pretty darn good. I thought third down defense was pretty good, but clearly you cannot give up the big plays that we did, and we've got to get that fixed, and we will.
How fast is Charles Washington? Because on those big plays, if you're going to take something positive, is him coming from out of nowhere to chase him down.
Yeah, that was a big emphasis on Saturday. You never know in a football game. There's usually about 4 or 5 plays in 170 whatever snaps that matter in a football game, and that obviously was one of them. You don't know when they count, when something like that's going to matter, but you do that and you hold them to a field goal. That was huge and a great lesson to our guys of why you got to go every single play. And Charles, for his first start, he gave tremendous effort. I think he's probably, if he's not the fastest, probably in the top 3 fastest guys on our team. He's a legit 4.4 guy, and he plays at that speed, and that's what you want, is not just guys who are fast on a track, but guys who execute that speed at the highest level and do it consistently, and he does, and we needed it.
Coach, did you have, with obviously most of Saturday off, did you use that time to watch college football, potentially scout future opponents? Boise State, I know Colorado won yesterday.
Yeah. We were in Saturday morning, we had practice, and we went through our tape, and we game planned against Cal Poly, and we watched their game. It was streamed over the internet. And then Saturday night, got a chance to go home and watch some teams in our league, so it was kind of fun to be a football fan for a couple hours.
So you didn't watch it with a critical eye as a coach, you actually watched it to just enjoy college football?
Yeah, I did. Had an adult beverage and relaxed.
Coach, can you go back to the other teams in your conference? It looked like a pretty rough weekend for the Mountain West, especially with San Diego State losing to Eastern Illinois. Nevada got blown out. Boise State even got blown out. Can you talk about that first week? What maybe surprised you about the other teams in your conference?
Well, there were those games, and I didn't really see a bunch of those games. I saw the end of the Nebraska and Wyoming game, and to see Wyoming put 600 yards on Nebraska was kind of impressive in Lincoln. We had the ball at the end of the game, a 3-point game, and had a chance to go score and tie it or go win. I don't know that you can make any far-reaching assessment based on one game.
But did it surprise you?
Some of them did, I guess. I watched parts of the first half of the Nevada game, then I was flipping to the Clemson and Georgia game. That was a pretty good game. And TCU LSU game, so I didn't see as much of the second half. But I thought Nevada, executed their pistol offense pretty well in the first half. I watched some of the Boise game. They're going up tempo, and Washington's going up tempo. Obviously, that's something that people realize and can stress defenses. A lot of our perimeter passing game on first and second down is really our run game. It's our wide run game, and just get it out right now. And so, whether you call those passes, Derek does, and he gets advantage of all those stats. But really, it's we talk about hey, get 4 yards on that play. If we get 4 yards, that's what we're looking for. And again, it goes to the whole philosophy of the offense. Let's get that defensive line tired. Let's make them run sideline to sideline. You do that, they're not getting up the field vertical as much. So, going back to your question, I'm
How
sorry.
many times did you run that play?
Well, a lot of it is there's a check with me, and so we ran different versions of it, but a lot on first down, and it's on Derek to hand the ball. And as we showed him the tape on Saturday, we probably could have handed the ball half a dozen times, and running backs might still be running right now because there were some big holes, but he got the ball out and we got 8-10 yards, so he didn't make bad decisions either. The crowd was a big influence in that game, and in overtime we lost the toss. They won the toss, so you've got an option. They took defense first, and so we get a chance to pick which end of the field to play in. We definitely wanted to be down by our student section, and it was still, I don't know if anybody had left at that point. And it was great to have that environment down there for our guys. And I think our guys showed their appreciation as soon as that game was over. They were going to the student section to thank them.
Any final questions for Coach?
Well, the offseason, so much talk, so much concern about your offensive line, and the strategy you guys used that you just talked about, those quick passes maybe took a little burden off of them.
Mm-hmm.
But how did you think they performed in their first time out?
Well, I thought, especially with all the grief that they got after the bowl game, and deservedly so, that they really played well. Justin Northern was our player of the game on offense, first time starting, and his guy didn't get a sack and really didn't pressure. And so I was really proud of the way he played. I think it's a great indicator for what he's capable of, and hopefully he'll be able to grow confidence-wise from that.